conference will now be recorded.
Okay, everyone, the RAC meeting for September 17th, 2025. Just looking for attendance. First of all, we have Rupal, Melinda, myself. I think we have Irina, right? I saw her.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I'm just readjusting here a little bit.
Okay. And am I pronouncing that correct, Irina?
Sorry, Irina, yes.
Okay. There we go. Okay. And so absent with notice, we have Wayne, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Kim, do you want to talk about the resignation of RAC members?
I sure do. Okay. Since we last met, Ann Yeager has sent in her resignation from RAC. She was with us for approximately 3 years. So very much appreciated the time she spent on RAC and all of the volunteer hours that she gave us, and wishing her well on all future endeavors. So, and then the next person to let you know about is Sam Clark, which I know none of us actually met her. I think Melinda met her during an interview process. And unfortunately, some things in Sam's personal life have come up. And so at the last council meeting, because she hasn't been able to attend to any of our meetings or any of our special events, council has chosen to rescind her place on our board and our committee. And that's because even though she wasn't coming to meetings, she still counted as a member. So it was getting harder and harder to meet quorum and that sort of thing. So anyways, it's now everyone you see plus Wayne. And so we're really low on memberships, but I understand from Fred, the clerk, Fred Simpson, that he's opened up memberships for RAC committee on the website. And so if anyone knows of anyone who may be interested, we would love to have them. Our bylaw says anywhere from 7 to 9 members, which includes Melinda, but does not include Emma or myself. So, yeah, so that makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need at least another 2 members. Okay.
Okay, I'll put the word out, especially with the Halloween party coming out. It's all hands on deck for that one.
It will be. It will be. Yeah, I'm. Sorry, did someone?
Yeah, Melinda. Okay.
At the moment, then we still have on the books a number that is 8, or
no,
because no. What do we have in? So just for quorum, what number do we have on the books as the constitutes the committee?
So right now, the number that constitutes the committee is the 4 of you plus Wayne makes 5.
Right.
So quorum will be 3.
Right. Good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Okay. Yes. So I just wanted to add a thank you to Anne, because she has helped in so many of our events for many years. So thank you, Anne, for all you've done. Okay. Any disclosure of pecuniary interest? Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda for tonight's meeting? Rupal, okay. Second. Melinda, all in favor? Okay. Okay, review of draft minutes of our last meeting, which happened to be June 18th of 2025. Any comments or questions about our last meeting's minutes?
Does everyone remember reading them?
It seems like ages ago.
I think I sent them to you along with the agenda, just so that you had an opportunity to refresh. Yep.
Yep. All about the Mono Melodies
Yeah.
name.
Yeah.
Okay, so motion to adopt the minutes of June 18th. Melinda, second. Irina, and all in favor. Okay, any business arising from said minutes?
Hold on one second here. I'm just going to.
All right.
Okay. I don't have anything written in my book, so.
Okay. Okay, a public question period. Are there any questions that have been submitted to us? Nor delegations? Okay.
Nope.
Okay. Unfinished business and deferred items. Is this what we want to start with? The review of RAC annual events, and is there room for more? Okay, it's a biggie.
So, as you know, the events that we look after, in particular, we have Winterfest, we have the Children's Halloween Party, and we have the Menorah Pumpkin Trail Walk. We have the two euchre events that we look after. We were doing Make Moto Shine. We tried something new this year. Unfortunately, that didn't go over all that well. And we didn't have a lot of support from the county for the format that we chose to do it in this year. So are we going to have Make Mono Shine again? Are we going to do a form of Mono Melodies again? Do you feel there is room to add additional events that RAC is responsible for? I know Emma and I threw around an idea today of having a community baseball tournament, wanting to get people out using our newly rejuvenated baseball diamonds, and hopefully bringing some more attention to the one at Mono Center. So we thought about the possibility of running a community baseball tournament and a community barbecue.
That's
So
fantastic.
throwing threat. So, is that something we do this year for Make Mono Shine? We say, come on out, pick up the garbage, drop it off, and join us for the community baseball tournament. I don't know. I'm literally talking off the top of my head now. So that's where this agenda item was headed, as to and plus the fact that it is budget season, and any new programs would have to be included in the upcoming 2026 budget. We have had some awesome response to our seniors program. Another person has reached out wanting to do guitar lessons, which I was just thrilled about. And then another person this week has came into the office and approached about wanting to start up a hiking group, just a hiking club, and just once a week, go for a hike together so that you're in group. She said she hikes on her own and isn't really comfortable in doing that, and so thought it would be awesome if she started up a hiking club. Again, I thought that was another great idea. So there's definitely things happening, but I'm wondering whether or not, or what your thoughts are as far as Mono Melodies, a baseball tournament, Make Mono Shine, all of those good things, just so I can get the budget prepared.
And Melinda?
Thank you, Mike. Yeah, that's a great idea. Baseball is a great idea. I just worry one of the things that we've really struggled with the Make Mono Shine is the Earth Day date, that it's good weather, it's bad weather, it's people are doing their own gardening, it's snowing, it's not. But baseball strikes me as a terrific idea, but it's something, it's kind of summery, something that I would want to be out in the good weather. Is there are you is there a possibility? And we do have, of course, as I know, we've got the soccer stuff that is in the good weather for the children, but I wonder what timing were you thinking of this? Could it
Well,
be
I
in
mean, when I said make it part of Make Mono Shine, that literally was something that came off the top of my head. Um, I'm all for doing a baseball tournament, maybe the beginning of June,
yeah,
so that we can highlight our diamond and hopefully get more interest in people coming out and using that baseball diamond, letting them know it's available for family rentals or team rentals, that kind of thing. Yeah.
and if it took off, then maybe we could get together rejuvenating the north, and we could have a north and a mid. Do we have a south? Do we have a south diamond in the town?
No,
One of the
well,
parks? Purple Hill, does it have a
no,
diamond?
we have one at Mono College Park. We have
Oh,
the one
okay.
at Mono Center. And then we do have a quasi one up at Lloyd Armstrong in the north. However, because we've had such little use, it basically has grown in up there. But we do have bleachers and we do have a backstop up there.
Yeah, I just wondering. I mean, if we did, just wondering, thinking big, go big or go home. That if we entertained it first, and got people out and everything, then it could grow into south, center, and north teams, adult teams or family teams or whatever, and have a real series going on if we because I do know that Lloyd Armstrong, there's been rumbling that, why don't we do something with that park?
Yeah.
And I know that we don't have budget for it, but if we started a baseball, that would be a great way to rejuvenate interest in that park. We had talked in the summertime, Kim, about also maybe having an event, a resident event for the pickleball courts.
Yes. Thank you for reminding me. You're right. We did.
Yes.
We did talk about
Separate from the pickleball club,
Yes.
and to really demonstrate to the folks what the residents have at their disposal. If you're really keen on it and you want to do tournaments and all that, then sure, join the club. But this is available for anybody. And so we could have some sort of again, the same sort of an idea where there's an event and refreshments and mingling social time with it as well.
I mean, we could probably even do a tennis thing as well, because we have fabulous tennis courts. I mean, we have a resident tennis expert right on this committee. So maybe we could take total advantage of them. And
yeah, have you crossed over, Mike, to playing pickleball?
Oh yeah, I play lots of pickleball tournaments. I have the highest certification they allow for pickleball coaching too. So I'd be willing
awesome.
to help. Yeah, I think that's a great idea that we have these courts, and there's so many people that I'm sure have friends and family that have asked them to come out, and they might be a little bit hesitant because they don't want to embarrass themselves. But it's so easy to learn to play pickleball that maybe a learn to play night, or even a 2 or 3 week course put on by the town, we could get some coaching for sure. And that way the courts would be in greater demand from the public point of view outside of the club.
Yeah, I like it. I like where this conversation is going, is that maybe what we should be focusing on next year is highlighting the infrastructure that we have available for residents and neighboring individuals to be able to use.
Yeah.
I'm in it. I'm both. I'm with baseball and pickleball. Both I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Great
And
idea.
the good
So-
thing about this is it's got the potential for high engagement, like a winter fest, like a Halloween party, but without the incredible labor that would go into it. So it would be much easier to run, and the numbers would still be quite high.
Yeah, and if this works, then maybe, the following year, we can expand to lawn bowling. We can, because we do have lawn bowling courts. I know we don't open those up to the public as much. It's I'll run through the Menora Lawn Bowling Club, but they are would love new members, and their membership is very, very low. So, or
They
their
might-
membership fee is very, very low.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, they may be in another spot interested in really exposing, since they were looking for rebuilding and grants and things. Just to get the interest, so that the community understands what a gem it is that we have, right? Because that lawn bowling has been around for so long and all that. Yeah, the lawn bowling. Yeah, so that's a good idea. So sports oriented events, but all comers. There's no high end. You have to have a bunch of equipment and all that. I wonder like our snowshoe lending thing. I wonder, what do you do if you want to play pickleball and you don't have a pickleball thing? Do you just go to Canadian Tire and buy a cheapo one? Like, do they exist?
Yeah.
oh
Or is
yeah,
this-
they absolutely exist. Yeah, my pickleball racket was less than $30.
Okay. So it could be something in our budget that we ask for, having 8 in the town or whatever, so that 2 of the courts, because you play with 4 people, right? You always play with 4 people? Yeah.
95% of the games are doubles. Yeah.
Yeah. So we could have some courts or some balls and rackets for people to use. Tennis is a little bit more expensive, right? But the pickleball.
Yeah.
Irina?
Yeah, I have a question. So right now, what's the scheme? If I'm a resident, for example, and I wanted to take advantage of playing some tennis or pickleball, what do I need to do to do that?
You have a couple of avenues open to you. In Mono, we have both for tennis and pickleball, 2 very active clubs that you can apply to be members of. And those clubs have access to our courts, or you can get what we call the Mono Pass holders, or a Mono Court Pass. And that's available to purchase online. And the cost is $30 for the entire season. So that basically goes from May 1st right through to October 31st. And you sign up, you pay your $30, and then you have access to our court booking software system. And you can go on and you can book the courts. We give you a shoe tag for your shoes, so to identify yourself as a Mono Pass holder when you're out there. And we also give you the code for the gate, because the code for the lock each of the gates changes every month, and that's just a security thing that we do. But yeah, for $30 you can play. You have access to all of our pickleball, all of our tennis courts, and you can play like at any time. That is what we call the public or the pass holder time.
Okay. And is there any other time where, for example, like if we were not members here, but just like a family in Mono, we decided, oh, let's play some tennis, for example, like one evening or 2 evenings.
Yeah, you can purchase
So
a one-time drop-in fee.
Okay.
Oh, one time. Okay.
Yeah.
How much is that?
Yeah. It's $20 for a one-time, which is basically the going rate to rent a court for 1 hour in neighboring municipalities that do have rental fees for their courts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what about the idea that I really want to, but I don't have a family, but I have a friend who lives someplace else, and so I'm having them over for a lunch,
Okay.
and I'd like to go play tennis. That one time, can I get the $20, get the code, and take a guest,
Yep.
and figure out whether it's something that I like? I don't need to
Yeah,
pay
you go.
for
Yep.
everybody for the. And then if it becomes regular, then if I'm there, hopefully I will meet somebody. Does our booking software allow somebody, like when you're golfing, to join something or to be there? Say I'm available on the Tuesdays or something like that.
That's a
Is
really
that-
good question. I can find out the answer to that. One of our staff, she looks after the booking software 100%. She's been doing it all. It's new software that we just got this year,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
she's become our resident expert. But I can certainly find out. I know what you mean. It's like golf, where I can go onto a golf site and I can see where there's an opening for a foursome if I want to go out. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I mean, the ideal is, the family of 4 that's got children that are over 10, and you want a family activity, and so you ante up the $20 for everybody, and you go out a handful of times during the season, and wow, that was really reasonable, right? But the rest of the just the possible combinations and permutations of residents that might really in keeping with our seniors thing too, right? That might
Yep.
want to actually be using it as an avenue to meet people in the community too, in addition to getting fit, right?
How do we get this pass? Do we have, is the
They're
link?
available online. You just go onto the Town of Mona's website
Okay.
and you can just put in the keywords court pass
Okay.
and it will come up.
Kim,
Yeah.
could we possibly get a QR code posted at the pickleball and tennis courts for people to just is the
There is one.
registration automated? There is
It's
one
there.
already?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's there. So if they go out and they don't know anything about us or anything about how to play, and they get out there and see that the courts are locked, they can immediately go on to the QR, like scan the QR code
Yeah.
and sign up right there and then.
Oh, and
What if-
so the registration is automated, so they'll get sent the combination within 10 or 15 minutes? That's wonderful. Great.
Okay.
I would
Because
know.
I've seen a lot of people.
Telling us.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
Just a
about
matter of
for-
letting people know, right? Sorry.
Yeah.
I missed the
Rupal-
I missed the opportunity this summer. I would know I would have played pickleball.
Well,
it's in your
Rupal-
newsletter.
Yeah.
It's in your
There's-
newsletters.
There's still a good 4 to 6 weeks of playing left. And I mean, for the $30 pass, if you go to say a private club and play one time, that's going to cost you a lot more than $30 for one day. And you can get it for, the next 4 weeks, you can play to 6 weeks if we have nice weather.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Irina.
I also have a question. So, there's no way for having like a community, like a one day that you don't have to pay, or you just have to be a member, or I
Yeah,
mean,
the
like
reason-
people who really are struggling with bills and everything. Like sometimes they would like to go do something, but everything is paid these days.
Yeah, we look at it this way, Irina. Number one is for the court security. Is we
Mhm.
spend, the courts at the pickleball courts were just shy of 300,000. The courts at Mono Center, that whole project out there was about a $700,000 project, and then the courts that we put in out at Island Lake, they were approximately Oh, that was another full project, was about a $650,000 project. Now, don't think the taxpayers paid that. All of those projects were covered through um, grants and reserve funds and development charges. So
Mhm.
it wasn't like we just, went to the taxpayer and upped taxes in order to do that. That's not how these were funded. So the courts are um, a rather expensive piece of infrastructure that we have. And so by paying $30, we found that individuals take more of a sense of ownership and pride in the courts. And when they used to be open, we would very often have to deal with skateboarders on the courts. We deal with ball hockey. We would deal with lacrosse,
Dogs, dogs.
dogs,
Oh,
dogs. These courts are great places, fenced in areas for dogs to run.
Hmm.
So by asking people to pay $30, it really has given a sense of ownership, and we really are experiencing very little vandalism as a result. The other way we look at it is when you want to go for a swim, or if you want to go to not play hockey, but to go for a public skate. Um, Again, high infrastructure costing amenities. You don't get to just walk in and say, I'm going for a swim. I'm going for a skate. You pay your $3 or $4 every time you go, or you buy a pass. I know the town of Orangeville, you can buy passes for these types of things. So it's all under the same thought process.
No, it's understandable. I'm just saying, is there, um, like, Town of Orangeville does have that certain amount of time that it's open for public,
You
you
mean
know?
like one,
Thinking, for example, in the winter, people come to skate for on Sunday. There's a certain period of time for
yeah,
free for people.
you mean the
I'm
ones
just,
that are sponsored
it's
by
just a
TIP?
question. It's
They're
nothing.
sponsored. Those are sponsored events.
Okay.
yeah.
Like
The
there's
Centre Dufferin Recreation Complex has that same thing. You have to pay $3 or $4, but there are free ones. But it's because Tim Hortons is advertising, or the local realtor has paid for it, or the dental people have paid for it.
No,
Right?
that's fair. I mean, like, I'm just a resident that would like to take advantage of some amenities, right? And I'm just curious how it works, right? And I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't know what's funded by what, right? So those are just simple questions.
Yeah.
sure.
No, I agree, Irina. And Kim did point out the reasons, but I think we can tie this all together and find a solution whereby the town can have some free learn to play, open to the public events for pickleball, tennis, lawn bowling, and a few other things, so that there are opportunities to give things a try without opening your wallet.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think those things, like you mentioned, Mike, would actually bring people in to use the courts and get the memberships and things
Mhm.
like that. It's just like we gotta get people engaged.
Mhm.
Exactly. Yeah, so I think running these types of programs would be very beneficial, not only um, like all the way around, one for the town so that we can get people up and get them out and get them active. We can also spread the word about these fabulous infrastructure amenities that we do have, or the infrastructure that we do have, and and then it might hopefully, get people to say, yeah, $30 to play pickleball all year, to play tennis all year, or at least during the outdoor season. That's great. Plus, oh, look, I can go and I can play baseball. Or, I mean, let's not forget, we also have a free um, snowshoe rental program. I'm not sure if there's many municipalities that offer that, where you can just go online and reserve your snowshoes on a Wednesday or Thursday, pick them
Mhm.
up on the Friday. You don't pay anything, and then they come, as long as you bring them back on the Monday.
That's
The only
wonderful. Yes, that is a great idea. There's a lot of hikers and a lot of people just get out and walk. So that is a great idea. And I think we should kind of like try to engage somehow people with things like this. They don't have to be expensive or they don't have to be open to public 24/7 or anything like that, but something to get people kind of hooked, to get active and
So,
do things.
yeah, so these events that we're talking, this idea of asking for some budget for these events, doing them early in the spring, right? So that people would be, I mean, you could do the baseball, have the baseball maybe later, but to do
Yeah.
as soon as the tennis and the pickleball are open, to schedule, and also before the tennis and pickleball clubs, claim that they have to do such and such an event on such and such a day.
Yeah.
If we had our day, that
Mhm.
then that would expose people. And you're right, Irene, if it was a big success and everything, there wouldn't be any reason why we couldn't then entertain another season of having, two during the season that we invited the public
Mhm.
that just to come out, and even if you're not people who aren't members and don't know about it.
And that those events actually will bring the knowledge to the public.
Yeah, because not everybody can read everything that comes into their email box,
Yeah.
or even into their
Or
real mailbox, right?
even social media. Sometimes they just scroll through because it just like it. I don't know. It's something next. And a lot of people are very attention span is very little.
Yeah, stuff doesn't. I saw it, but it didn't register.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can even ask the Mono Pickleball Club to help spread the word, because I'm sure each of them have friends who would like to try it. And so they could definitely recommend it to a bunch of players who are a little gun shy to get out there.
What would
Mhm.
be the cost, do you think, when you say to have an instructor, which I think is a really good idea? I mean, that's one of the things about Winterfest, right? We have people there who are volunteering, helping people put the skis on and the
Mhm.
snowshoes and so on. Do we, tennis, I appreciate, is a bit more of a professional thing. So what kind of money would we need for a budget, do you think?
It really depends as if it's a 1 day thing or if it's a 2 or 3 week program. Because a 1 day thing, I think it'd be pretty easy to find some volunteer professional coaches, because you get it back in the long run many times over, because people see what kind of a coach you are and you've taught them a new sport, and once you do a good job they just keep coming back to you for more coaching. So there's an availability to get volunteers in for a 1 day. It's whether you want to adjust that down the road to having a 3 or 4 week learn to play program, where then it's not going to be a volunteer thing. Then that would probably cost in the neighborhood, I'm just guessing, of about $50 per hour per coach, ballpark.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's good information, Mike. That's for sure. I know on some of the Learn to Play, the Mono Tennis Club does an excellent job of offering children's tennis camps, Learn to Play camps, and they do it prior to school even getting out. You don't have to be a member of their tennis club in order to participate in these tennis lessons. So I don't think we need to offer lessons, but I would love to do the 1 day, come on out and see what we've got. And maybe we, you know, do one a month. Like, so this month we're featuring pickleball. This month we're featuring tennis. This month we're featuring baseball. This month we're featuring lawn bowling, or, that kind of thing. Um, but trying to get people to come out and be active. And I don't know. I'm going to throw it out there that if we put a budget of, what would it cost? Other than using the courts and maybe some supplies for advertising, like if we ask council for about, and maybe there's going to be, I don't know, maybe, or do we do a barbecue with it? Like if we're going to get into a barbecue, then that's going to cost a little bit more money, and we would have to have people register and that kind of thing. So we knew, or do we just offer something simple, like there'll be lemonade available and cookies, sort of thing, right? So what if I think might be a good idea if we just started very simple like that, when having lemonade and some type of snack available, and then see where it goes, see how popular this is. And I think if we were to ask council for about $300 for each event, how do you feel about that, everyone?
Yeah, I like the idea of starting small and just growing each time we do it.
Yeah, the other thought is a little bit, if we had a little bit of a cushion budget, to have some equipment, right? To get some.
Oh yes, that's a really good idea, Melinda.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, eight pickleball rackets, or maybe some tennis balls, or most people can find somebody to borrow a tennis racket from, but maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, pickleballs add up. So yeah, buying pickleballs will cost quite a bit of money.
And the rackets, so what if we were to say, like for pickleball, and I was hoping to buy a couple of portable pickleball nets this year too. Anyways, that's another discussion.
Where are you gonna put those?
At Lynn Gibson Park.
Oh, right.
Just a thought that's been going through my head to. Anyways.
Right.
Yeah,
but so it's just something similar. So something similar to you could ultimately maybe get another grant, like a snowshoe one, something similar to that as we get going. But if it takes off, but to start with, somehow having something for people who know nothing about it at all,
right?
To be able to come out like they do at Winterfest, right? People come with nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wonder. Yeah, that's an interesting thing. So I wonder about the pickleball clubs. Clubs don't have stuff to borrow. Private clubs have their pro shop. You can buy stuff, but they don't have a
tennis clubs do. So I have probably 30 extra rackets because the schools come to play. So we have rackets for all the kids and extra balls. But pickleball, I'm not sure what would be available, if anything.
Yeah, exactly.
And if it were
uh-oh, Melinda, you're frozen.
Hello.
Oh, you're coming back.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh. Okay. Oh, we can't hear you now.
We could, if it ended up being a bust. So we put the money in. You could still, get rid of them at the Winterfest auction, or sell them on when we're going to have a garage sale thingy that we do intermittently, right? I don't think that it would be a total loss, but could be a really good way to spend a few $100 and really get people interested.
Yeah. I think it's a great idea.
And the good thing is it doesn't discriminate in any way. Anyone from any background, at any age, at
Yes.
any athleticism level can give it a shot and play.
Mhm.
That's pickleball. That's, I mean, tennis. There's a certain level of coordination, but still, it's good for any age. But pickleball is even more open to anyone who wants to give it a shot.
Mhm. We might even be able to, and again, just an idea off the top of my head, like we have quite a bit of snowshoe shoes that are available, is Emma and I could do some research into possible grants to see whether or not we can purchase some of this equipment and make them available. Like we have a snowshoe lending library, so we'll have a pickleball racket and balls lending library. We'll have a tennis racket and balls lending library. Same thing. You come, you sign up for them. We hand them out to you. We ask them for them. We ask, for you to bring them back within a max of 72 hours.
It's tricky because so many resorts and places you go to and camps will have a box of pickleball equipment near their pickleball courts when you go visit them, and 90% of them are broken because because they're not theirs, they do not treat them with the respect they should. So I like the idea, but I think it would just be a lot of money down a pit.
Well, we might be able to do it when you tell me that, Mike. We may be able to run it like we do with the snowshoe library, where we do take a credit card number, and if the snowshoes, one, are not returned, or two, if they come returned damaged, we do take the cost off the credit card.
We started this conversation with the idea about our baseball and what kind of equipment, if you wanted to play, if we all wanted to go out and play baseball tomorrow, what kind of equipment do we need?
Well, we
Probably
have
I'd say
bats, we have bases, because we used to, we used to run a baseball program in Mono many, many years ago.
So we have the equipment.
We have equipment.
Excellent.
Yes.
Because I know you need a glove and the don't you need some sort of a protection for the guy who's having the ball thrown at him?
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean, I haven't seen the equipment in quite a while. It's over at Mono Center in one of our storage lockers over there. I could certainly have take a little jaunt over there and check in on it, but yeah.
Okay.
I do have a follow-up with programs like hiking clubs, cycling clubs, things like that. They sound great, but legally speaking, like how much work is there involved on from the town's part? Like, do you have to, do background checks? Are there waivers? If they're taking kids on hikes, like it can get complicated in a hurry, I would imagine. Yeah,
I'd certainly speak to our insurance provider about that. Again, it would be a volunteer-led program, so there would definitely have to be a vulnerable sector check done. We would just have to look into waivers and all of that good stuff.
Right. Because I would love to do that. I mean, we take our dog on a bunch of trails, but there's so many trails that we haven't even been on. Like even if it's a walk your dog club or something like that, or the option to do that, there's so many amazing trails that I'm sure I still haven't seen. So to have someone who really knows the area well that would lead different hikes and bring you to new places would be wonderful.
Yeah, and this person supposedly, she hikes quite a bit. Her partner is not keen on her hiking alone the way she does. So she saw our senior superstar And she came right to the office, didn't even bother calling me. She just came right in and said, I want to do this. I would love to start my club. I'd love to start a club. And she said she bought one of, oh gosh, the hiking books.
Oh, Ross.
Yes, Nicola Ross's hiking books for Dufferin, and she's trying to make her way through each of the trails that Nicola Ross for Dufferin County has highlighted. And then what else? And then right now I'm just thinking if a few years back, gosh, I'm probably 10, it must be 10 years ago now, we had that the Mono hiking challenge where we had a number of different routes available, and we had signage through, and these were all trails within Mono that we were encouraging people to go and hike on. And I don't know if any of you remember it, but we ran that actual challenge, and you had to send in proof to us that you had hiked, and we actually got a donation from Canoe North, and they gave us a trip for the individual on one of their Yukon or expeditions was the grand prize. So every time you went on a hiking challenge, your name got put into a hat for a draw. And we ran it throughout the whole summer, fall, and then we pulled the name. Yeah, it was great. It was incredible. Yeah, it was great.
Okay, so the answer to your question of do we want to do it? Like, do we? I mean, it is the 5 of us. Do we want to do that?
Yeah, like we would need commitment that we're looking at if we go on the thought that we're going to do one per month. So 1 month we're going to be out there on a Saturday, or maybe it's a Friday night or whatever. I mean, we would pick it out and offer learn to play, like come on out and play, and we're going to have, we're just going to have a fun get together. So we would need, participation from RAC for sure, once a month. So kind of looking to see how you feel about that, because I know we already have, well, what is it? We have the Winterfest and we have the Children's Halloween Party, 2 pretty major events. And then there's lots of small ones along the way. So
I'd be happy to offer my services for a 1-day learn to play pickleball and a 1-day learn to play tennis.
That'd be amazing.
Excellent.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can volunteer too.
Okay, great.
That'd be awesome.
So then we would decide amongst us, because this is, the winter, the Halloween is a given that everybody's around, the weekend before Halloween or whatever. And then the Winterfest, we know we've got the date on that, but it would be the same kind of a thing. We would have to commit to some dates in 2026 that suited us, right? But that are spring and summer.
Yes.
Right.
So from this conversation, for additional events, what I'm looking at then is we're going to look at organizing a baseball tournament. We're going to look at organizing a learn to play day for tennis, a learn to play day for pickleball. And are those the 3 things, or do we try the lawn bowling? That's not something that is open to the public unless they want to join the actual club. So I think the club offers learn to play days on their own, trying to encourage people to come out and try lawn bowling, which as a committee, we can certainly help them spread the word on that. We can, as a committee, we could go out and try and learn how to play lawn bowling to try and support them.
That'd be fun.
I have suggestion in what about badminton?
I'm sorry.
Badminton. Badminton.
Oh,
The
badminton.
badminton.
Well, we don't have any indoor badminton, like we don't have any actual facilities for that in Mono.
Sometimes seniors cannot play tennis, so of course pickleball is substitute, but um, I think badminton is equivalent pickleball kind of thing. But I'm not sure if it's people like to play badminton. I'm not sure.
We just don't have the facilities to offer it.
So it can't play. Sorry, it's just a little weird question. Sorry, 1 second, Irina. So badminton cannot be played in tennis court, no? Outside, I'm saying, no?
Well, outside on a field, but then, I mean, ideally it's inside on a safer playing surface in a
Oh,
school.
I see. Okay, thank you.
Because they've got high nets, right? It's more like a volleyball net than a tennis net. It's up off the ground, so you'd have to hard to get like those fun ones for family picnics or whatever. It's just always the problem is getting the damn thing to net to stay up. Where are we going to put the net up? How are we going to get it to stay up, right?
Yeah.
Then you end up just going back and forth with the birdie with no net, right?
And then it's always windy.
Yes, that's why they
Always
call it a bird.
when you play
Because it
outside.
flies
It's
away.
always
So
windy.
so if we've just our facilities, I mean, and I guess we could talk to Lawn Bowling and ask them if they wanted us to champion something for them. But for this first year, that's just 3. So we could do May, June, and July.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
And I wonder, does it have to be the whole idea of a baseball league and stuff? That's like Emma, you go to do those things. Those are evening after work things often, right? They're not necessarily Saturday mornings and stuff. That would be the next question. Would we want to offer something in the middle of the week in an evening? It's a smaller commitment on our time because there's only so much daylight. And so, it's a for sure just 2-hour thing versus.
Well, we do have lit courts. All of our courts are lit.
Right. Well, some of them are lit. We don't have any lights out.
That we only have two. The only that are not lit are 2 tennis courts.
Yeah, the new tennis courts, right? Yeah, okay. So then that's fine. So then definitely, so the evening actually would be kind of fun. But it would be up to us as volunteers if we're into it. I don't know. You guys, you young folks work, so.
Well, we'd want to make something. We'd have to talk about that because sometimes learn to play. Mike, you're the expert on this. You'd have to divide them into age groups, I'm assuming, because you can't very well. I think it would be very difficult to have a 5-year-old out there trying to teach them at the same time you're trying to teach a 35-year-old.
Yeah, I would assume it would be organized in such a way as to have a 4-hour window and divide it into 4 groups, whether it be, kids under 10 and then, teenagers, adults, and then seniors type of thing.
Okay, so then that's definitely a weekend day. Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right.
So I like it.
Me too.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
you've committed to something now, right?
so I'm gonna roll this back then to because again I have to have budget for these items. Make Mono Shine and Mono Melodies.
I think we put so many hours into Mono Melodies. I just don't know if it's worth the effort at this point.
It is definitely. Emma and I both did a lot of research into various neighboring and other communities, and how they offer these, music evenings on Friday nights or whatever, and they do get, I'm not going to say professional, but they get quasi professional, and none of these groups come without being paid. They are paid to come, and they're paid anywhere between $300 to $1,000 to be there, with 500 being the predominantly the most common amount that is paid to these groups. So to run something like this, we would need a budget. A lot of them run them in conjunction with their local arts councils, and or with their better or with their business, what do you call it, improvement, BIA, and try and bring business to the municipalities. It's a really big undertaking, and I don't think following on the way we were going with just come on out and play for free, but you have to audition. And as one individual, and Emma, correct me if I'm wrong on this, said to us, I don't have equipment. I don't have sound equipment, and you're telling me I have to bring it. So by the time I go and rent it, by the time I get myself there, and you're telling me, I can play for 20 minutes. He said, it is not worth it to me to come out and do that for you.
Right.
So,
All right.
I think the template that we had just didn't work. So, I actually, right now, I think there are so many surrounding municipalities that are doing these things. That, like, I know Shelburne does it. I know Orangeville's got their jazz festival. Collingwood's got things. Where do you call it? Creemore. I'm not sure if it's once a month or I think it's once a week up there. Their arts council puts things on. So there's the Caledon does things. Do we need to also do it?
I just think right now with the members, the lack of members in the RAC, I just don't. I mean, the burden is already quite high. I don't want to add too much to it. So I just don't think it fits in right now with what we can offer.
Well, we're only so many people.
And also with the population in Mono, it's more scattered. It's not like a town that has a town center with apartments that people can just come out and see things, And it's a little, I think it's more of a town thing to do.
Okay, so that gives me the answer for that one. Now, make Mono shine. What if we were to combine that with, put more of an emphasis on a community garage sale day? Like that's like, recycling, people recycling their things they no longer want, and letting other people use them. It's kind of a little bit about it's like a swap, yeah.
At a centralized location or just a general, like this
No,
is
at
a
a centralized location, like we do it at Mono Center. Have a big community garage sale day.
I don't know. We've had a few offerings of that, and albeit the weather wasn't all that good or whatever, but you watch the people come and bring the stuff, and then you watch them also to put it back in their car and take it. I don't think that we've had much uptake with the communal one. Though actually, that is kind of an interesting idea about, you know, if you were to somehow organize a day for that people could go around the town, and that this would be the day that everybody's putting their stuff. If you are going to have a garage sale, have it on this day, as a like a garage sale tour. You know, you could do something like that. Then we're not actually, the people aren't actually schlepping it out of the way. It's the people going to them. But I don't know then what, and bring, I don't know how you would make your Mono Shine thing involved in that, but because I see what you're saying with the idea of the recycling, reusing kind of aspect of selling your junk. But yeah, I don't know. But like a tour thing could be fun.
Like maybe rather than asking people to pick up garbage, we just literally do, in honor of Earth Week, this is what we're doing. We're going to run a big community garage sale, and we don't charge anybody for use. Like, they just let us know if they're going to come. They have to reserve a table, and
Okay.
you know, and then at the good thing is at Mono Center, we can certainly go inside or outside. Like, we would only sell X number of tables on what we could fit into the community center. So, you know, we would look at doing that.
I personally think the landscape has changed so rapidly in the last couple of years with these type of things, because everyone is on Facebook Marketplace and five other
Some,
things. Any little thing they need, they can buy used already. Like, are people actually going to go in their car and drive to Mono Center to look at someone's, you know, whatever on a table? Like, I just don't know where the
okay.
draw is to do that.
That's a really good point, Mike. I had, because the last time we did this, and we did it at Menorah, and it was very, I will say, Melinda, like, I'm going back 15, 20
Oh,
years ago even, we did it, and it was very well attended.
right. Well, I
And
just watched Barb and Raymond bring all their stuff out. They had their daughter help them and everything, and then they put it all back in the car, right?
I think our challenge there is that we didn't emphasize enough that there was a community garage sale going on. Whereas if we made the focus, not make Mono shine, but in honor of Earth Week, Mono's holding a community garage sale, right?
Emma?
I can't remember which municipality I saw do it recently. Instead of having, because that was one of the complaints, the last Make Mono Shine was them all bringing all their stuff there and then having to take it home. What I saw another municipality do was you sent to a staff member your address and said you were wanting to be a part of this community garage sale. And what the municipality did was they made a map with each person's location, so that if people were interested, it would show the people that were participating in the community garage sale. And then that way you weren't hauling stuff somewhere. And if people were interested, it kind of just, and then you got to kind of tour around the municipality and do it at your own pace.
Yeah, like the art studio tour.
Yeah, and the farm tour, which is an amazingly popular event every September. Yeah.
It is a great event. Yeah. Yeah,
I like that idea.
Yeah, I like it.
I like that idea. So what but what's in it for the Mono thing, to make it so is that Mono is supporting this and implement and facilitating that on this day they're if anybody's interested in garage sales, then that you have the advertising is done for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could do that. So
Yeah, we'll have the handy maps that people can check out on their phone and let them know what the addresses in their neighborhood are for them to check out.
So that's
maybe.
So basically, everyone put on their driveway and the garage sale. Okay.
And we could even ask with their address, name, like give a 3 or 4 word description of describing what in particular you are offering.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah.
So I'm just going to be the devil's advocate here for a second. So there we are. We're talking about Earth Week, where we're trying to conserve energy. I mean, Earth Week is,
Yes.
huh. And here we are saying, yeah, drive all around Mono.
No, but I mean, a lot of it is just in your community. You can be on bikes or walking around with your family if there's, 4 garage sales within your 3-block radius type of thing.
Yeah. And there I am on my bike, and I just bought someone's microwave. Anyways, I'm just, sorry,
Don't buy used
real
microwaves.
devil's advocate here,
Yeah.
and thinking what council might say to us that, maybe that's not the best Earth Week
Well, at the
promotion.
same time, if people actually buy stuff, that thing is not gonna end up in a landfill.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
it's a little bit of gas versus garbage in the landfill.
Okay, and that, you know what, Irina, that's really good because we could maybe use that as part of our poster, like the flyer for it. Don't let it end
For
up in the
sure.
landfill. Let's have a community garage sale. Like, let's use something like some tagline like that for it, right?
Yeah, and I know for sure that my friend, he lives in Amaranth. He and his wife were driving around the community on Saturdays and Sundays just because they wanted to check out the garage sales. So if they had the actual app, that would be a thing for them to do on a Saturday or a Sunday, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah. I think that's a great idea, actually.
So I'm going to throw one more thing out there. So we've got a lot of urban or rural people in Mono, and it's not like they can have a garage sale right at the end of
Yeah,
their driveway like they can in our urban centers. Do we then say, do we also offer that if it makes more sense for you to come on out to Mono Center, if you want to haul all of your stuff to Mono Center, that's gonna be the centralized point. But in addition to that, there's also, we're also going to make available, you can have it at the end of your driveway and you can still be part of it even without hauling everything to Mono Center. I'm just thinking that was, as my mind is remembering, that was one of the reasons we did the community garage sale, was because the rural people really had some challenges with having garage sales, like with just the way their properties were laid out.
Yeah, you definitely want it to be inclusive. But yeah, they don't have to truck everything out to the end of their driveway. I mean, they could just put a sign up saying, come on down the near the barn or something like that, wherever we have our tables set up, just like the farm tours. I mean, you know where to go.
Yeah, I mean, just put a sign this way, garage sale, that way, up the driveway. I think people have no problem going in the driveways. It's more maybe the people don't want other people coming to their houses.
I'm wondering if that's part of it too, Irina. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess you could offer the space if somebody wanted.
I don't
But
think it would hurt. I don't think it would hurt at all to have the hub of it taking place. Like, you've got choice. You can either come to Mono Center,
be
and
added to our map.
or we can add you to our map, whatever you want to do. But we're gonna have one big whopping community garage sale on such and such.
that's great. Mhm.
You want to do that? Okay, let's do it.
And pray for sunshine.
Yes, exactly. It needs to be nice weather.
Yeah, so I just found out where I saw it. It was the Township of Malmer just did it on June 7th, and they had over 15 locations, and they were all rural, all over the municipality. None of them were in like subdivisions because, again, they don't have subdivisions or major ones. And I counted 15 on this one picture alone where they had people, and they just showed the map with all the locations.
So it did work. I know Mulmer does have one subdivision. It's up by Mansfield there, isn't it? Anyways,
This one that I'm looking at, it's all over like first line, second line, County Road 21, 17th Side Road, McCutcheon Road, Kingsland Avenue, River Road, second line east. They're kind of
Right.
all spread out. So
do you want to just give that a try, you guys? Do you want to try that?
I like it. Yeah.
I like it too.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
But now they did it in June. That would be likely to be a dry day.
Mhm.
End of June is usually nice. Beginning of July is nice. Do we need to do it at Earth Day in April when it's snowing?
No.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm on board.
No.
just for the
Sounds
meeting
good.
minutes. So are we just doing the addresses, or are we also doing the hub at Mona Community Center?
Just the addresses.
Okay.
That's what I kind of got from everybody there.
Okay. Perfect.
Is everyone good with that? Put your hand up if you are.
Yeah.
Done. Okay, good.
Now,
Yeah.
would we?
We got through the first item on the agenda.
Okay.
Okay. What's next?
Okay, I think that oh no, you know what? We did manage to do 2 and 3, Mike. Take a look at
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, we're good. I guess we should start talking about the Halloween party.
There was number 1 there, discussion re possible expansion of RAC's mandate.
Oh, okay.
I put this on I put this on our agenda because RAC's mandate used to be much more expansive than what it is now. Our mandate now, when all of the mandates for the committees got changed, is looking after special events and programming opportunities for our residents to offer as much as we can to get them out there and get them active via special events and letting people know. So it's basically for the last few years been more focused on special events, this committee. And in very small writing under the mandate, it says, and other duties as requested by council. Okay. So lately, a few things have been going on within the recreation department that I've been toying with the idea that this could be something that the Recreation Advisory Committee may want to, if it was in their mandate, to have an opportunity to speak about. And we've talked a little bit about it tonight already. With Irina, you spoke a little bit about, well, how do I get to play pickleball? How do I get to play tennis? And so what this would mean is opening up to this committee the responsibility to review the lease agreements with our local clubs that we have. So we have lease agreements with the Mono Pickleball Club. We have lease agreements with the Mono Tennis Club. We have a lease agreement with the Mono Nordic Ski Club. We have a lease agreement with the Menorah Lawn Bowling Club. And these are all agreements that govern the use of our courts, the shared use of our courts. So this would be something where this committee would now, I would bring the lease agreements to you, and you would be able to have, you'd be able to make comments, you'd be able to make recommendations to council to say, whether or not we recommend this lease agreement going forward, or you may say, no, Kim, what if we thought about this, offering this to the club, or that sort of thing. And another area that I thought the Recreation Advisory Committee may want to assist would be when we do things like replace playgrounds. So we just went through this process up at Lynn Gibson Park where we had 5 playground tenders come in, 5 different playground, what would you call it, layouts from various companies. And we formed a committee, and the committee consisted of staff, and it also consisted of Mike Sodden as the chair of the Recreation Advisory Committee, and it also consisted of 2 young adults, a 13 and a 15-year-old. And this committee reviewed each one of the layouts as they came in. They were scored individually by each member of the committee, and then the scores were tallied. And from there, we looked at 2 different RFPs, 2 different suppliers that we wanted to work with, and see what we could do with what they had suggested. And through this process, we ended up getting more than what we originally thought we were going to be able to get. And it ended up being a great process. But again, this is something, would this committee be interested in? They don't come in very often. In my humble opinion, not often enough. I'm always asking council for money for playgrounds. But we do have another playground coming up next year, maybe, depending on budget or depending on grant opportunities up at Purple Hill. And this may be something that this committee may be interested in, and being where you sit down and you have to look at each one of these layouts. So it's expanding the mandate of the committee to not only do special events, but to also be involved with our sport groups, and to share in the decision making of what should be offered to them, and what our responsibilities should be to them, and what their responsibilities should be to us, as well as getting involved with infrastructure opportunities at our parks. Out there for comments, guys.
Yeah. I think it's a great idea. From my experience, if there are bids on things like tennis court, reconstruction, or big projects like that, a council is usually, if there's a difference in bids, they're just going to take the lowest one almost every single time. Whereas, if there's a committee to look into things, sometimes I know that things have cost a lot more in the long run at some of these clubs who just took the lowest bid, because it's reflected in the quality of the job too sometimes, and the people that they have doing the work. There's a reason why the bid is a lot lower than some of the other places. So I think there's definitely a need for that. And I mean, the taxpayers have a right to know that their tax dollars are being spent wisely and with proper research. So I'm all for it. It's just, how much time do we have to dedicate to something like this? Melinda, you're muted, Melinda. Okay.
Hey, thanks very much. Thanks, Mike, for your comments. I agree that it's important. That I think it would be a great way to morph the Recreation Advisory Committee into an actual advisory role. Would be great, or we could rename it. But I don't want any impression, because I've been sitting on council now for 4 years, and we've had the pickleball courts made, and I remember being involved with as a resident with the Island Lake when I first moved here, and it took a number of years to get the grant and to get it all ultimately done. And then I'm on council when it all gets finished and so on. So I don't want there to, I would like to correct you that there haven't been on my watch and my being around, there hasn't been anything where I have had any feeling like staff or council didn't, well, yeah, that's not true.
Oh,
I haven't had any feeling where the staff was not, wisely spending the dollars. I have to say that I have had some occasions where I've thought that the council was making the wrong decision to decide not to spend dollars, to spend money on something else, or not putting recreation as in the forefront with respect to the budget and the maintenance that has to happen, because we've had to make cuts. We've had to make big cuts, and we're going to have to make more cuts this year, right? So, but I think that it would be terrific if there was if the I mean, it's great. I really enjoy all of our events, and I've enjoyed getting to know the people who are on the committee and working up at the popcorn machine and things like that. But I think it would be really nice if we could have a little input into, or just to be in the know ahead of time, right? Because it is ultimately, these things are ultimately council decisions. And I know with respect to like Public Works, when they put out a tender and you get 15 people who say, yeah, send me an application, and then you actually only get 5 people who actually bother to fill it out, and then we take the lowest, and that is because we kind of have to take the lowest. But you're right, the worry that they're not going to be up to snuff, and so that's why these contracts, the Public Works ones, where it's going to be a repeated RFP, but that we can get out of it, or change it in a couple of years, or not, we'll hire somebody else. Versus a playground, you've got for 50, what's the life of them? 15 years. We stretch them in Mono to 20. Purple Hill is going to be 20 plus by the time we finally get it organized. So they don't come around for too many. The one committee won't get to do too many of them because we're not all around for 20 years, right? But I certainly think it would be a great idea if the people who are on our committee now had input.
I agree with that too. I think with the tenders, it's important to have just some kind of input to say whether you completely hate the idea or the tender itself that was proposed to you, or you don't like something about it. I think it should be like, I think we should be involved, just giving them ideas of what we think about it, about the proposal, what concerns we have, what we like about it, what we don't like about it, what actually will maybe there's something missing, So I think it's a great idea to just give our input into things like that for recreational purpose.
Rupal, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree, and that's a great idea. So like advisory committee would be the face of the public kind of thing. So we can have our inputs, give inputs, So yeah, that's I agreed, and then so we can be a middleman between the council and the public. So that way maybe we can have a more, like when we go to the website, we see the Mono community, we see there's lots of feedback, what the people are saying. So we can have our opinion about this, something we can share.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's important that the committee sees what goes on with our sporting groups, what's offered to them, what our responsibilities are to them, what their responsibilities to us are. And you may have comments on that. You may, you may want to suggest to council that something else is considered. These are things that what I've been doing is I've been sitting down with each of the sporting groups, basically on my own, and we've been coming up with our lease agreements. Well, lease agreements are coming up now for renewal, and I thought this may be a good way for this committee, as you represent residents of Mono, to have your input as to what should be offered to the various sporting groups.
Melinda.
It's kind of interesting, because certainly, for us to be at arm's length and yet interested, right? So I don't belong to the pickleball club and I don't belong to the tennis club, but I am a resident, and no, I'm not gonna pay my $30 to get the code, because I've already done that in my life. I got other things I'm doing, but I also have opinions on how I've had experience with community tennis things and private tennis clubs, and I think I would have something to add to the discussion. I would be concerned about if we change the mandate and then we end up with just, this is the Recreation Advisory Committee, and then we ended up with the committee be made up, not of us, because it's not us, but in the future, that it be made up of people who are you got to get on the RAC committee so that you can help negotiate the right, like you'd want there to be a real objective group here. I think
I totally agree with you, Melinda, because we have had some challenges with that exact thing in the past. So I think if you were in any way affiliated with the specific group that we were maybe talking about with their lease or whatever, you would have to declare a conflict, and you would not be able to participate in the discussion or be able to vote on anything if you were a member of that specific sporting organization.
Yeah, and we could even invite delegations to come talk to us during one of our meetings, because we're going to have a lot of questions. If this is the route we go, I can see some groups having some questions about, whether they feel like we're over-regulating what is, a public park and the activities that are happening in a public park, right? It could get contentious, so we'll have to have a few delegations and answer some questions and ask a lot of questions too.
I agree.
So this is something that you need to bring then as a recommendation to council, and council then passes a motion, right? That's how changing the mandate of our committee is.
So I spoke with the clerk about that, and because within our mandate right now it says, and other duties as requested by council, we can almost do this in a trial basis to see how you like it, and then next 2026, when council when the election is, that's when we also review all of the mandates of each of the committees. So at that time, if this has been working well, we would work that into the new mandate for the committee.
Well, I mean, we are called an advisory committee, so I think each of us expects a certain degree of these roles. So I'm happy to be involved in this new direction.
Okay, so if that's again the general, you may want to if you're all in favor of that, you can, like, saying that we will add the review of lease agreements with our sporting organizations to the role of this committee, and we will add the more of a role in what goes on. I mean, as far as infrastructure suggestions in our parks.
Mm.
How's that sound?
Agreed.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
4.
Okay. Great. Okay, children's Halloween party. It was a late email. I sent it out at the end of the day today. I started going through it and making changes, and I thought that's crazy that I'm going to sit here and do the changing when I thought, why don't we just take the 2024 one and we can say, okay, who wants to do what? And then between Emma and myself, we can update the task list for the Halloween party. Does everyone know when the Halloween party is? I hope you have it on your agenda to be there. Sunday, October the 26th. The party runs from 3 to 5. We are going to need help prior to, like when I say prior to, I mean there's a lot of planning and organization that goes into this. We're going to need help the day of. So if you're not able to attend, you need to let us know now.
I will get my group of volunteers and run the haunted basement. I look forward to that, doing that every year. So we will be back in the basement.
Okay, that's great. Let me pull up these. So that might even be this year because Dave Mole is no longer on our committee, and unfortunately, we won't have access to anything that Dave had offered to us in the past. I would suggest that almost a little subgroup gets organized, Mike, to decide on how to create that Halloween haunted house.
Mm-hmm.
I know Emma and Shelby and I talked about it a bit today, and we ordered a couple of spooky creatures off of Amazon. And I went on Facebook Marketplace myself today looking for some, spookier things for the haunted house. And I have kind of a lead on some things that hopefully will pan out tomorrow, purchasing through Marketplace. But any of the what are they called? What's the word? Animatronics, or the things.
Animatronics.
What is it?
Animatronics.
That word. And animatronics. Where the monster or whatever lifted up out of the coffin, or the coffin itself, or things that you had done there. I think there's going to have to be like a little separate committee formed of what have we.
He took them all back? Because we had been storing stuff for the last few years. He'd said he didn't want things anymore. They were in Craig's son and Craig's.
We still
so
have.
we don't have.
We still have quite a bit. We have quite a bit of items that Dave did donate to us last year, which is great. But as the staff told me today, anything that moved, like anything that had an electronic device associated with it, Dave has taken those things. Okay, so that's where we need to come up with new ideas. We need to come up with an idea for, I don't know, you remember the pumpkin man out front, which was always a big hit when people were walking in. Shelby, one of the staff, feels that she can recreate that she can make that herself. So that will hopefully pan out, that we will have that decoration. But yeah, Mike, if I can leave that in your hands, like to reach out to Dave Mikowski.
Yeah. So we don't have access, like if I emailed Dave Moole, we don't have access, like for me to go over with a van and pick stuff up. He's kind of done with the Halloween party for now.
During his when he resigned, he said that he was resigning from the committee, as well as anything that he had offered in the past to the committee.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's going to be tough to recreate, because he had a lot of really amazing items for that basement. So yeah, we're gonna have to figure out a plan then.
I'm wondering whether, I'm not in the least bit electronic. I don't know, if you reached out to Wayne, if he might have any suggestions. If anyone has any spouses or friends that, are mechanically like, hey, I can get somebody to build that for us. Like, obviously the town will pay for, whatever parts, but we could certainly use some assistance with
And
this.
he had a lot of lamps and lights and all that stuff too. So I mean, it's really the lighting that I mean, the monsters are great, but I mean, all the lighting that he had set up was super helpful in really building the scene.
Well, and a lot of the one of the things that we could invest in, the whole idea of it being dark, right? That's what makes it spooky. And if there was more black cloths and ways to put them up with the 2x4s to really make hallways that you really only need the anticipation to, and then boo, and like it doesn't have to be that many things, because the lighting was terrific, and there was always a discussion every year about, well, we need to turn the lights up, no, we need to turn the lights down, no, we need to turn the lights down, we can't frighten the little ones too much or whatever. And so if it actually really was just a lot of really darkness and not knowing, then that in itself is spooky for the children, as opposed to there really being a guy that pops out and is makes them, yeah. So it doesn't
For
have
sure.
to, I think,
Yeah.
I think, to redo it. Or the other thing to do is, this leaves us now, because of the discussion and because of the way the committee.
We've lost you, Melinda. You're frozen.
Hello?
Oh, there you're back.
Yep, you're back.
Sorry, it's that mono Wi-Fi. So this does leave a.
No, we've lost you again.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I didn't know where we were going with that, so I wanted to hear.
She'll come back on in a minute. Oh, there she is.
Yeah, you're muted. Okay.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I don't know why. There must be somebody down the road who's using the Wi-Fi, because my phone's turned off. We could, shake it up for a year and then put all our ducks in a row for next year. No haunted house this year, but we have something else going on, right? Apple bobbing, or like we could do something else if it becomes too daunting to recreate. Or not.
What about just maybe not recreate it into the previous glory, but make it more simple? Still have the haunted house, but simpler.
We do have, I know, the red and what did Shelby say today, Emma? Red and green lighting, like the town has.
They've hardwired it in. I can't remember exactly what the color is. Red and something. Maybe it's purple. They've hardwired all the lighting in, so when it gets turned off, it'll be dark, but you'll still have that mood lighting.
We just might. I mean, I'd love to have something that lifts up, and the coffin and all of that stuff. So it would. I mean, we're talking about. It's still 5-6 weeks away, if it's possible, that anybody knows anyone that may say, yeah, or I can help you build that, or I can lend it to you. That would be amazing.
I could check with my husband, but I can't make any promises.
Yeah, I mean, we're happy to. This is sometimes I find when people get together and start putting their ideas together, and they say,
But
yeah, like we could do this or we could do that, or I know.
see, like I don't know how it was last year, and I don't know what we're supposed to recreate. And
I think someone
also,
has a video. We can send a video out to the members. I think Kim has taken videos before, but it's been very good the last couple of years. I think we've managed to scare pretty much everyone who has gone through it.
great. I mean, like, did you need building a coffin, or what would be the items that need to be done?
Well, that's why I'm saying this may need a subcommittee to form and say, okay, we are going to look after the haunted house. Like the town has a number of the big dummies, the monsters. Um, like just for this committee to get together and say, okay, show me what we've got, so we know what we need to create, and that kind of thing. Like rather than us sitting here and going, well, I don't know. I think it'd be better if there was a subcommittee who's for this Halloween party said, I'm going to take over the haunted house. And I can certainly give you, the opportunity to work with the two staff, Shelby and Dave, who can certainly be a huge assistance on this. But I kind of need someone to take it over. So Mike, if you're willing to say, yeah, Kim, set it up, send me Shelby and Dave's email, and maybe maybe your kids want to get involved. Maybe Wayne will get involved. Irina, maybe your husband will get involved. That's what I'm saying is,
But see, like the question is how much involvement needs to be done there, because I don't know, because I can screw things and hammer things and I can do a lot of stuff. It's just like the amount of involvement. I need to know what needs to be done, because I also have a retired dad who probably could be willing to help out or something like that with the with woodwork or other things. It's just like I need to know what
sure.
to offer.
Well, and that's just it. Is unfortunately, I don't know specifically. I just know from
Yeah.
my conversation with my staff today is they told me we still have a number of the big dummies or whatever you call them. But to me, I know how I work, and I'd have to see those things laid out and then say, okay, here's everything that we have. Now, what more do we need? That
Yeah.
that that's how I work. That's how I would do it if I
Yeah.
was going to be a part of this committee. And what I'm saying is I will set it up with staff that they get everything out for the subcommittee to look at, and then say, okay, this is what we've got. Because rather than 2 days before the event goes on, and a group gets together to put the haunted house together, and then you realize, well, we don't have anywhere near enough stuff. Like, well, Dave brought that last year, or we don't have this. Okay, so we have a little bit of budget for this event. So if there's some things that need to be purchased, let's get them purchased. Like, I guess I would feel better if I knew a committee was going to take this over, and you put a plan together and you made it happen.
I'm willing to help as long as there's somebody who knew what was done before.
Well, like I said, Dave and Shelby can be a part of this committee.
Okay.
Mike, Irina, and Mike, maybe can you reach out to Wayne and see if he'd be interested?
Yeah, I can ask, and I'll ask all the high school kids. It's just very tough this time of year, because it's still 7 days a week, very, very strong until very late at night. So unless we get a pocket of rain, I don't have any time this time
Oh
of
yeah,
year. But
you're very busy with you. So, but I mean,
But I
Shelby,
will reach out to the high school kids because they'll have ideas. They've been there helping me. So they know
yeah,
exactly what it has looked like, and maybe they have some ideas. If I said, you know what, we're missing a couple monsters this year, do you have anything that you can put together in your
yeah,
in your basement type of thing? So yeah, I'll reach out and I'll talk to Wayne
okay,
but yeah, we do need. You are right. We need to have 2 hours on a Saturday or Sunday where, a good 3 weeks before, where we lay everything out.
exactly.
Well, actually ASAP, I guess, where we lay everything out and then know what we need.
Yep. And I can make that happen for sure.
Okay.
Okay. And Irina, I can send you some pictures and videos. You can even go on, I don't know if they're still online.
Well, that's okay. Just send it to me, and then also let me know what's missing out of that.
Well,
Oh, you don't know. Oh, we don't know. Right, right.
I don't know.
That's
So this is
right.
what I'm saying is you need to
Yeah,
get
so we would
together.
have to go and check what we have and what we don't have.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds good. I can do that. I can definitely.
Okay.
But yeah, I have some ideas that would be pretty easy to recreate. Because remember, with very little lighting, it's so dark down there. Everything doesn't have to be perfect. Like a coffin that had, some type of moving mummy that was, covered in slithering snakes type of thing looks awfully scary in bad light. So we could do something like that.
Yeah, I mean, like I also have a sewing machine, so to put something on top of the slithering person over there, it's just a dark material with some other stuff attached. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's doable. I mean, like
Okay.
we just need to know what to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So the first step would be I can actually do like a comparison of what we have and what we don't have out of what was before.
Hmm.
I will send you pictures and then and Dave and Shelby will be a member of this, and then Mike, I'll make, if you could take the lead on this as best you can, and I'll let you guys organize, getting together, and so you've got Irina and hopefully Wayne.
Can you say if it's possible for you to send me the photo also, because I'll double check with my husband also.
Certainly, absolutely. I'll send it to all of you. I'll send you what pictures I can put together of what we've had in the haunted house in the past, and I'll forward them to you tomorrow.
And then we can have sub meeting, and then we'll see what we have, and then what needs to be created or buy.
Yes, yes. Awesome. That's great. I'm just looking at the time here. We're almost at 8:30. So I'm going to ask each of you, you see the task list that I sent you from 2024?
I can do cupcakes,
Okay.
or if you need anywhere else, I'm okay with that too.
Okay,
Now,
so
this is making the cupcakes, or are we
Yeah.
purchasing them and just being there to help decorate them?
Decorating, because
okay,
if anybody, I don't know how to bake, so I don't want to go on in loss.
I
yeah, so
baked cupcakes
I think
before.
the cupcakes between like I'm happy to make cupcakes. We buy mix. We have 3 stoves at Mono Center that we can cook cupcakes in. Didn't we make the Rice Krispies? Yes, we do. We make the Rice Krispie squares ourselves, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yes, was it for that, or was it for the Winterfest? But yes, we made a bunch of cookies and we made a bunch of Rice Krispie treats last year, and the
What was that
cupcakes.
for?
I
Well,
think
that's
it
it.
was
I'm
Halloween.
thinking it was for Winterfest. You think it was Halloween?
I
Okay.
thought it was Halloween, but I could be completely wrong.
Anyway, I'm up for helping, but that stuff is has to be that weekend, like the couple of days beforehand. And I don't know what we did last year wrong, but the Rice Krispie treats got hard. So I don't know whether we need more butter or not to wrap them ahead of time, in which case then that makes the more
Yeah.
job for the people in the kitchen. Maybe
You
not
know
wrap-
what? We made them for Winterfest for the Toonie table. Because
okay.
when I look on here, we purchased 25 dozen cookies and 25 dozen Rice Krispie squares from Absolute Catering.
Oh, yes, you are correct.
Okay.
So we'll do that again this year. Just simplify. We'll do that, and we'll leave our baking to Winterfest.
Okay, so that's fine for the cookies and the whatever to give to, but what about the decorating? Were those purchased, or I kind of feel like Anne might have made those?
Yes. So Anne and
Sally.
who else? Sally.
Sally.
They
Sally.
made the cupcakes. So we do need someone to offer to make 150 cupcakes. And like I said, you're welcome to use Mono Center to do so. It's almost like you need a little team going forward. Again, we're looking for, if you guys have friends who'd be willing to help out with some of this,
I'll ask my
or,
neighbor. But the last
Em and I
time-
even tossed the idea around. We have one stove at the office. Is that Em and I are Em and I just, between the two of us, make muffins, or not muffins, whatever they're called, cupcakes.
Are high schoolers allowed to volunteer for food preparation?
You know what? Food has to, really good. Food has to be prepared, as I'm just thinking about this. They're not eating. Oh, no, they do eat these. I was going to say they decorate them, but then they do eat them. So we're supposed to make them in our kitchens at the halls.
So as long as there's somebody to supervise them, I think that's okay for them to help out, mix the batter, whatever the tasks are, right?
Yeah. I will tell you that we'd have to get a day. Like one day, this is kind of a job during the week, because I'll be honest with you, my weekends are really busy between now and the Halloween party, and for me to go out to supervise kids making cupcakes, why don't we just leave it with Emma and I, and we'll figure out how to get the cupcakes made. Okay, Emma, staff will look after cupcakes. So let's just very quickly go through this. You'll see right there at the top all of the volunteers. Again, if you can send me, yes or no, whether or not, because Mike, you had just said you'll get some volunteers. So why don't I put it this way? Please send me the names of people that will volunteer. Rupal, you had a number of volunteers that came forward last year. That was great. Like for the day of. These are volunteers for day of the event.
Yeah, I'm going to ask again. And if the mother and two kids are willing to come with their friends also.
Okay. So please let me know. The other thing is we want to know their names so we can make them a name badge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So there's the budget again is $2,500 plus income from registrations. We're going to do Absolute Catering. Staff, I will once again look after making sure on number 1 on the food that it's all going to be there. Kitchen help on the day of. I've already confirmed with Annie that she'll be there, and Laura will be there as well. I'm not sure if Barb Jaffelise is coming or not. So, but I will look after that, or maybe I can put one of the Big Brothers Big Sisters in there, or Irina or Rupal or whatever.
I was gonna say we could put Nancy in there because I have my cousin said she would volunteer, but she's on the list for knee surgery, so she could help me with registration instead of Nancy.
Okay. You know what I'm going to do? Again, I'm looking at time here and we're already half an hour past what we normally do. Why don't you leave this with me? I'm just going to assign people things to do, and I'll send it to you. And then if that doesn't work for you, let me know.
And Fred's always got the helpers for Halloween too.
Yes, Doha and yeah. How does that sound? Does that work for everyone?
Yeah.
Great. Okay. What's the next item on our agenda there, Mike?
The other things, the euchre and the
Right.
in-person meetings.
Harvest Euchre Tournament is scheduled for Friday, October the 3rd. The location is Mono Center. The time is from 6:30 to 10 p.m. At this point, we only have 13 people registered for it.
We're up to 15.
Pardon me?
Up to 15 now after today. We got 2 more today.
15. Okay.
What's the date again, Kim?
Friday, October the 3rd.
Friday, October 3rd. Okay.
Okay. We don't need a lot of help with the actual running of the event. What we need are players.
Right.
So please get the word out that this event is going on. I think Emma's already got the flyer all created for it. Emma will send you the flyer tomorrow. Please share it with your friends. Share it with anybody you can think of. We'd really like to not have to cancel this event. Okay.
How many people?
There's always been.
minimum?
Irina,
I'd like to have the event with a minimum of 40 people.
Minimum 40. Okay.
So that we have 10 tables.
And what's the cost?
The cost, Emma, it's 20 or 25?
25.
$25 per person.
Okay.
And that includes, the prizes. That includes, that includes lots of hors d'oeuvres or snacks, and that includes your first, what do you call it? Beverage, and wine, beer, or non-alcoholic.
But it's snacks like chips and things like that, right? Because I can remember one year I played and there were actual like a huge buffet of Subway sandwiches or something like that cut up too.
We get little wraps that we have,
get
and then chips and cookies and that sort of kind of snacky food. It's not a full meal, but yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a solid deal.
Yeah.
So if you know how to play euchre, it's a great deal.
So please get the word out on that. We're coming up. What's the date today? Like, it's only a week away, isn't it, Emma? 2 weeks away, October 3rd.
Yeah, 2 weeks this Friday.
It's 2 weeks this Friday. So we'll have to make a decision on that by whatever the Tuesday is of that week.
30th.
Okay.
Okay.
30th.
In-person RAC meetings discussion. Sorry, Mike, I'm just kind of jumping ahead there.
Yeah.
And I put this on to find out whether or not you want to proceed with having our meetings in the evenings. Like, I know once Mike's schedule slows down a bit, we'll go back to 5:30. So do we want to do in-person meetings? Because what's happened now is one of the people that have now that have resigned from the committee, that was the reason, that was one of the individuals who had some challenges with night vision. So why we chose to do virtual. Excuse me for 1 second, everybody. Excuse me. I'll be down really soon. I just don't want to eat in front of people. Okay. That'd be awesome. Thank you so much.
Rupal, Irina, what do you think about in person?
I don't mind.
Wednesday
Then
is
at
challenging
5:30?
because 5:30 will be challenging for me in person, because I think it looks like my work schedule is going to be 3 days, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So if it's a virtual, um, then it's easier. Let's say on the way I can talk, or I can attend
So
on
you're
the way
saying
back
5:30 is too early with your work schedule?
I think so. It's going to be.
Okay.
But for now, it's okay. It's not confirmed. Hopefully, they are going to start this three days in a week from next year. I hope so. I'm keeping my finger crossed. But uh, for now, this year, I think it should be okay so far.
Yeah, I'm hesitant to change the meeting dates or the times, because I know we sent out the schedule in January. We've done that. What this is more focused on, like changing to 6:30 is no problem, Mike. But is more focused on in person or continue with virtual. There are definite advantages to having in-person meetings where we're all sitting around a table. Like it also offers the opportunity for your delegations a little easier. Like they come, they do a presentation.
It's much more efficient, I think, to have in person, but it's just whether we can or not. I mean, I'm good either way, but it's just so much better to have in person, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm okay with in person, but right now, I have to see the schedule, like how it's uh, going to be, because I haven't heard anything yet so far, because I think until December I'm okay with the same schedule. 5:30 is fine, in person also fine, but next year I have to see.
Okay, Irina?
Can we do people meeting in person who can and who cannot just join on the computer, or who cannot do that?
No, unfortunately, we don't have that possibility. The way we're set up, that would mean a specific, or one of our specific staff members had to be present in order to run it like a council meeting, and we don't have that staff we don't have the ability to be able to do that.
Do you know, I know that we've always said that, and that's very true. But we're all sitting here on our own computers. We could have, like, just turn on our computers, meet in person, but also have our computers for a case where somebody can't make it. Because the problem
If
is
the
not
Wi-Fi was strong enough, yeah.
Oh yeah, good
And then
point.
the sound is really difficult if we can't connect to, sometimes if we have tech issues, if we can't connect to a speaker, you can't hear the person on the one side, or they can't hear all the discussion.
Or
We need
the
an extra
echo.
loud.
Okay. Yeah.
It's just
Okay.
what I found, if you try to do a mixture, then you can't hear certain people, you can hear certain people, things are missed, people are talking over each other.
Yeah.
That's one con of trying to do both
I'm
at
o-
one time.
I'm okay with in person if it's 6:30, so at least I can reach on time in person. But
And in
5:30 will.
person would have to be at the offices. There's no option for in person at Menora Park.
Yeah, we do hold all of our committee meetings at the office.
Okay.
Like we have an actual committee room.
Yeah.
I don't mind, whatever you decide.
I'm just putting it out there because of the change in the committee members.
Yeah.
That option is now back.
I do feel that meeting in person gets more things done.
Yeah.
For some reason. I don't know why, but first, I don't know.
I will also tell you we are the only committee that still meets virtually.
Okay, so do you want me to make a motion to change our meetings to in person?
I think so.
Okay. Okay. A motion to, from now on, have in-person meetings for the rec.
Okay. Is
Rupal
there
or
someone
Irina?
who wants to?
Yeah, Rupal, the second. Irina, okay, all in favor?
My hands up.
Okay,
Okay.
good. Okay, great.
So
Thank
the
you,
next
everyone.
the next meeting date is scheduled for Wednesday, October the 15th. It's at 5:30 p.m.
Well, that's my husband's birthday, and we're actually going to be in Mexico that time.
Is that?
Lucky you.
Yeah.
Lucky you. You're back for the party though, right? You're back for the Halloween party.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna be back on the October 19th.
Nice.
Good for
So
you.
I will devote my time for the Halloween party. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Excellent.
Which is
Okay,
fine,
so
you know, appreciate
I'm
giving
my
notice.
calendar in person, right? That's
I
in person.
think
Decided.
for Rupal and myself, I think we need 6:30, right, Rupal?
I think for now I'm okay with 5:30 because it will be remote. But next year, maybe next year I have to work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday 3 times. So
Okay.
next
You
year
have to
may be
go.
difficult for me.
You have to go, which you have been not having to go in, eh? Okay.
Yeah, I'm working from home from Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
All right.
So
Oh, I see. I see. So Mike, are you better with 6:30 for the next meeting? I know you've still got your
For just the next one, and then after that, I'm okay
okay.
for
So
5:30.
the next meeting will be at 6:30 p.m. in person at the office. And if you haven't been at a meeting in person at the office, you come around and park in the back parking lot and come in the lower door around
Where's
the
the
back.
office?
Oh,
Is it
347-209 Mono Center Road.
It's where you had your
okay?
interview.
Okay, okay. So that's the okay.
But don't go in that front door where you would. Come around the
Okay.
back, park in the back.
All right.
Okay, great.
Okay. Is that everything?
That's it. Unless anybody has anything to add or any suggestions for the October agenda.
Okay. Yeah, if you do, just send any ideas into the group email, and we can add them. And also a little bit of homework for everyone. If you have anyone you know, any neighbors, any friends with a little bit of passion for community events and volunteering, put the word out that we need some members.
Right.
We really do, especially with the expansion or adding more now to responsibilities or with talking about user or our sporting groups and
Yeah.
that kind of thing. We're going to need more input from others. So
Okay.
Super. Okay, a motion to
Great.
adjourn. Rupal, thank you. Irina, second. All in favor?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Have a good evening.
Guys, great meeting. Great meeting.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.